We are live here finally again. Coffee talk with coffee and mint tea over there in Canada. Doesn't matter as long as you got something hot in your hand. So excited. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a coffee talk here. And Coach K, your adventure coach here on the other side of the pond in Austria, and over there in Canada on the other side, we have Corrie Campbell here, who's a transformational coach, originally from Guyana and now living in Barrie, Ontario. And I can't wait to have this discussion with him. We are talking today about actualizing the calling on your heart. That's so similar to what I help people with too, is, going for the bold dreams, linking it to mountains and the call to adventure type thing, right? And I've listened to a lot of Corrie's videos and how he speaks. He's so magnetic, and his message, how he gets it across, is so authentic. And he's on a mission to share a message all about mindset and how do we actually not just talk about it, but live it, the calling, right? And so many more in this past year and a half, people have been awakened, and, they're, as a collective, we're more awakened to these kind of things, and we're ready, available to shift. And if we're not, we feel the pain of that. So I would love you to jump right in, Corrie, and use this time to maybe give yourself another quick intro and dive into what is this all about? Actualizing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
First and foremost, Coach K, thank you so much for this opportunity to be here. It's an absolute pleasure to be right here with your audience as well. I know myself as well. I've followed you since the beginning of the year, and it was just this connection that we've got since then. And we've been communicating for a while, and here we are right now. So I'm so happy to be here. But a little bit about myself. My name is Corrie Campbell. I'm a transformation coach. Basically, my story is basically, growing up as that kid, not being the smartest of the pack, having a whole lot of limiting beliefs, always felt like a victim of life and didn't really feel that I had much control. And I got myself to a rock bottom, which led to me just wanting something different. Mm-hmm. And in that strong desire of wanting a different future for me, my family, and we could go a bit deeper into this at some point, but in wanting something different, it was such an emotional decision for me that I did not know how, when, where, why, how I'm going to bring something different into fruition. But I made that decision with a strong emotion, and life is just unfolding much differently from the way it did when I had considered myself the dunce guy, the victim, the guy that doesn't have much control, and so on.
Well, yes. What you're talking about sounds like contrast. Contrast, I think, is necessary. Like that uncomfortable experiences is necessary to create the other, right? When we know what we don't want, then we can more easily create what we do.
It's so true. And I spoke just briefly about my rock bottom. I am sure that, I'll say this, we all have something on our heart that's calling. The thing is that over the many years of programming and so on, we tend to bury what we want, or maybe even if it's just a brighter future where we can live a bit more freely. We all have something of that nature on our heart, and we sometimes get so programmed to the world that we bury it deeply. But you can't bury a seed. A seed basically grows. A seed basically comes back. So the thing is that my rock bottom was just a lesson for me to give this seed the opportunity to grow. And I think we're all getting lessons and different opportunities that's showing up as problems in our life. And those are the same things that are leading us to, something brand new. Those are the same things that we have an opportunity to learn that lesson that life has been trying to teach us, so that we can shift into the direction that's within more alignment. That's what's deeply on our heart.
So you keep mentioning it's an opportunity, but would you say that it doesn't always, when you're in the thick of something, it's not always the easiest thing to say, oh, this is a great opportunity for me now to shift, right? Right? I think maybe some people have to fall down a number of times and get the lesson a number of times to say, okay, maybe this is trying to show me something or showing me a door somewhere else.
Yeah. The reason why I call it opportunities is because, I now have a different perspective, because my understanding is that life will never be just like completely smooth sailing where there's no problems, there's no challenges, there's no opportunities. Like, if you were to move from one stage in your life to another, you might be, let's say, at one stage, the problem, the opportunity was, let's say, wondering what's going to be your next meal.
Yeah.
But as you elevate from that level, maybe the other problem that this new place in your life would present is maybe what job do I choose so that I can work out, it could work out best for me and my family? What business do I get into? And the challenges and problems that may come with that. So I say that to say that in every stage of our life, there are going to be opportunities for us to grow and learn from, and it's going to show up as problems. And once we're to like really understand that, this is not meant to stop me. This is something that I can learn from. This could be that thing that leads me to the other. And me saying this here, it might sound a bit, like positive thinking, but I am sure we all have this experience. We all did at some point in our life where, something that we perceived as the worst, something we perceived as bad, it led to something better.
Yeah.
Right. And it could show up in so many different ways. It could be maybe a relationship where you felt so hurt and it felt like the absolute worst thing, but it led you to something else. Maybe it could be losing a job or being laid off, especially during these times. And it leads you to something else. It probably leads you to get to being curious about a business. It leads you to be curious about something bigger. Like, we've all had these experiences where problems show up in these mysterious ways, but my firm belief is that it's all lessons. They're all stepping stone. They're all things for us to move from one place to another. And once we're to overcome them, we're moving past that and moving into maybe better problems.
So never wish that you don't have problems. Just wish you were better, or wish you could see it differently. Because we're always going to have problems.
Absolutely.
And when I think, as you're speaking,
it's always going to come.
Yeah. Some of the things that I thought were issues in the past, I'm so glad we're there, because there's clarity now. You make decisions on, okay, I learned that through that relationship, and that's not going to happen again, because this is exactly that showed me staying in this relationship for 3 years. I don't have to beat myself up because I stayed there for 3 years. I can say, wow, look what that taught me, and look what I've manifested now because of that clarity.
Yeah. And there's always something. yeah, it's like hindsight is 2020. They say that for a reason. Like, like, like everything led us to this exact point here that we're at right now. Everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And the mission is still ongoing. The mission still have so much more for us, right? And right now, as it is, we've been led to this point, and you know, as as we move past different things, we're gonna reflect and we're gonna see that, hey, these are the different things that led me here. I'm a firm believer that there's no coincidences, there's no mistakes or anything. Everything just happened perfectly. We may not be able to see it in that moment, but give it enough time, give it a different perspective, we can see that everything happened for a reason, and it led us to this point, and it's going to continue to do that.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm just going to jump in. Anyone watching this now or in the future, if you have questions or comments, leave them in the chat, please. So at the end, we can make it interactive. So Corrie, let's jump to just the theme of this, actualizing your life calling. So tell us about that. Like, how are we to take steps when things are clouded, we're in the thick of stuff, and we're busy trying to find a job, we've lost our job from Corona, whatever, we're trying to just get through life, let alone following our calling. So how do we take care of ourselves in connecting to that calling? How do I know it is my calling? Right?
So really, really good and also deep question.
Yeah.
Like, as we, like, I think that earlier we were talking about, our problems that are challenges, right?
Yeah.
I think our calling is deeply related to something that's been showing up for us, something that, that's been happening in our lives. It could be like, for example, I met this young lady who's been, she's had an experience where she was molested growing up, right? And that was the worst thing in her life up until she decided that, this wasn't a great experience for me. And now I'm gonna speak out so that I can be a light. I can show hope to the girls who might be secretly holding this to themselves, feeling that they're unworthy, feeling that, they're alone in this world.
Mm.
Right? So I say that to say that I feel that our calling is deeply connected to our experience.
Yeah.
And many times the things that we might be cursing might very much be that thing that allows us to like find our purpose.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
right? And I want to also acknowledge that, we're living in a world where there's so much that we need to keep on our radar. One, surviving, there's Corona, there's so much scarcity in the world. And now so many of us are focusing on how do we get by?
Yeah.
Right. And that is okay. Like, we're all on our own journeys, and we're all going to be at different stages where we're to actualize ourselves. But at the same time, while we are, concerned about our job or concerned about being laid off, there is a spark within you. There is a desire within you. There is something that, you want for yourself. There's something that you want for your family, your friends. There's ways that you want to contribute.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you don't have to know exactly what it is. You just have to have a desire for something that's bigger and better than your current situation.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, like my experience, my rock bottom, I spoke briefly about it earlier. My rock bottom was walking into a grocery store with my wife, who was pregnant with our son to come. And my wife, she was like, the grocery store, it has like a clothing department. And she was like looking at these cute baby clothes. And as she's looking at these clothes, all I'm thinking is like, why are you looking at that? We can't afford that. Like, we're not doing well right now. And this is what's happening in my mind, whilst my wife is just like ecstatic because there's the prospect of her newborn baby fitting into these beautiful clothes.
Yeah.
And while she is feeling like excited and happy, I am so conflicted because like I cannot be in that moment because I'm worried about, my finances. I'm worried about this here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that moment, I did not, all I know is that I didn't like that feeling. All I know is that I have a son on the way, and I do not want him to like come into this world in scarcity from his father, who's supposed to be providing.
Yeah.
Right. And in that moment, all I know was that I wanted something different. I wanted something better. And it started with me wanting to provide for my family. That was it. That's all I wanted at that time. Let me be able to be financially free so that I can provide for my family. And I started on that journey of curiosity. What is going to allow me to do that?
Mm.
Now, as I got on that journey, like I started getting into development and learning things that I wish things that I wish someone had told me while I was going through my struggle, things that I wish that I know that it was out there, right? And these were the things that would have bettered my life in such an amazing way if I had just had access to the information, to the material, to the possibilities that are out there for me. And I'm here at this point because it started with me wanting to provide for my family. I had this epiphany that there's so much amazing things out here that could allow me, the dunce Corrie that never read a book, the Corrie that was a victim, to now be in a place of empowerment, starting to believe in myself, starting to know that there are options there and I just have to choose. Now I'm feeling empowered now. And the next step is like, there's so many people that I personally know who are, feeling the same way I was feeling, like a victim, feeling the way where, as you're growing up, all of the limiting labels that was casted upon you, you living by that from a child into your adult life. I know people who are still like that. And it doesn't have to be like that. So my desire for just providing for my family evolved into me wanting to show people a different perspective, that you're not limited, that you do not have to stick with the limiting labels that were cast upon you. Corrie, you're not dunce. Corrie, you could read a book. And I did. Right? So you don't exactly have, I say all of this to say that you don't need to know how. All you need to have is a spark, something that's going to guide you in the direction of what's like deep down, of what's been buried for so long. And trust the process and just like believe and look forward and hold that space within your mind for something better. I think the biggest challenge is that we give up. We give up and we think that this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. I don't have control, and there's there's not much out there, and the world is this and the world is that. Insert your negative or your limiting comment or belief, and we need to start breaking away from those programmings, because those are not like, those aren't us at our deepest core. It's just like societal, programming and things that were imposed upon us.
Totally.
We have like limitless potential, and it starts with us just wanting to believe, just wanting something better, just having a desire and holding space for the possibility of that desire. And within doing that, life works in such a beautiful synchronistic way that an opportunity will present itself that's going to lead from one door to another.
Beautiful. Corrie, incredible. So what I'm hearing from what you're saying, we got to take flipping responsibility, number one, out of the victim to create a different circumstance. And when you had your wife there looking at the clothes, it sounded like you just said, damn it, I'm committing. And it was almost like an unconscious spark within you. This is not going to happen.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
It was emotional. It's like, sometimes you could make a decision, well, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
But if you're in a place of, this is not me. I am hurting right now from what this is, and I don't want this anymore. So I need something better. I need something different.
Yeah.
And that emotion that was behind it, I think that played a really big part in allowing me to commit and allowing me to persevere and just be persistent with what I truly desire.
We're talking on something big here because, and this is something I brought up on a live a while back because I see this again and again. Many people feel they need to know what their passion, they need to know their life's purpose. And just those words as a whole put pressure on us. And you said it too, and I'm so glad you said it. Sometimes we don't know exactly what that is. But if we follow that curiosity, you said curiosity, the spark, something that takes us over here, then maybe takes us over here. And the trust, you said curiosity, you said trust. Following our own curiosity may not seem like a big passion or may not seem like a life purpose, but it's actually leading us. It's actually leading us there. But if we're expecting this big booming life calling, save the world,
Eureka moment,
serve 1,000 people, boom, boom. I think a lot of us are going to be disappointed because it doesn't look like that. It's not,
yeah.
It's following the stuff that juices us and sometimes it can be disguised and least expected things. We're being called to go here or called to move houses or called to whatever, but it's in that curiosity. Everyone can take that word curiosity. Like, what am I curious about? And I find that's where the passion is I'm curious about that. Oh, wow. Look at that. And then forming everything and trusting everything in that from one step to the next.
Yeah.
Being curious.
Like I'll say this, for the people who knows exactly what's on their heart, like, amazing.
Yeah.
For those who don't, like, understand that in the unknown is where the magic is.
Yes.
It's like, you don't want to, it's not going to be like, well, here's step A, B, C, D to Z. Like,
thank goodness it's not.
It's never going to be like that. And if it's like that, it's absolutely not going to be something that really captures you. It's not going to be something that have you in awe as you reflect in hindsight. Like, if you don't know what this is, like, just start by, being curious. Like, what do you want? Like, what experiences do you want? What ways do you want to contribute? Right. And these may seem, these are very big questions, but there's something that might be nudging you, and having the curiosity to see where it takes you, knowing that it's not going to be, 0 to 100. Know that there's going to be steps along the way, and curiosity and being open to that unknown, and frankly having a bit of trust in it, is what leads you through the process, and it's what brings that clarity.
Yeah, how do we get to a point of trust? Right? How do you get to the point of, okay, just going to trust it all works out? But trust isn't in action. We have to still keep moving forward and just, trust that the universe has our back.
Yeah. So how do you get to trust? I would say, like, from operating from your desire. Like, if there's something that you want, or there's something that you might be, open to experiencing. Now, if you want it bad enough, if it's something that might be having that little nudge and that pull on you, once you're to hold that thought, that spacing in your mind and in your body long enough, you may not believe it in that moment. You may not. But you do it long enough, you might be telling yourself a lie up until you actually believe it. Right? I'll share this here. For me, a while back, like, being online, sharing videos and so on, that was such a big challenge for me. Because I grew up as that kid that stuttered. I didn't believe that I could talk. My English is bad, this, that, and the other limited belief. Like, you think about it, I had all of that in the back of my mind that was programmed into me. Right? But I know that I had this desire that, there gotta be something more than this. And, where I am right now, it's not where I want to be. And I am looking forward to something bigger. Now, I had to challenge myself and do some things that was hard. I had to make a video, put it up, and, sometimes I would put it up and, not feel good about it. But then a coincidence, which is just like literally like, the universe, God, Buddha, Jesus working through us and the people around us. Like, I posted a video, and one of my old friends was like, Corrie, this is exactly what I needed. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't trust the process until then. I did not believe that, what I was doing was worthy. However, someone, started showing me a perspective that one person, needed this, and this might have played a difference in that person's life. Right? So, like, that one little nudge of someone, appreciating the way that the message served them, or someone also believe in me and saying, thank you, continue to deliver this content. Right? Yeah. That it's like me taking one step blindly, allow me to, like, even as I wasn't feeling the greatest, allowed me to be in a position where someone could say, Corrie, that made a difference in my life. Thank you. Please do this again. And I was able to now trust a bit more and take another step. Yeah. Now, before you know it, I am believing in myself. Now, before you know it, this is not a lie anymore. This is not something that I'm lying to myself about. This is becoming real every day.
Yeah.
Right? So again, it's like, you'll never see the big picture. You'll never see everything and every angle. But again, just being open and taking steps, that allows you to cement that trust a bit more. It allows you to build a stronger belief.
We have to take the steps. We have to go to the edge. We have to be willing to maybe suck. We have to be able to go through that's holding us back. And because so much we make it about us. But in order not to make it about us anymore, we still have to go through the discomfort of showing up, whether we like it or not, whether we're aligned or not, whether we're in the zone or not. Sometimes it's we wait and wait until we feel good to show up, or until we're, the right moment, or, but just like you said, maybe what's there right now can serve one person. And it's that, just like you said, this trust is in us is in us moving forward, is in us taking the step regardless, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, brother. So I wanted to kind of recap. I've kind of talked about many different things, but back to the topic on actualizing the life's calling. And we talked about taking responsibility for your life, about not being in victimhood, getting curious, right, on your desires. And this is all amongst being in the clouds, or if you've got a lot of things pulling at you. Curiosity. And then tell me more. Learning the trust and taking steps to build the trust. What else would you leave them with? So there's a few things.
Yeah, I would say this, like, when you're in the midst of like not knowing exactly what things are going to look like, and all you know is that there need to be something better for you, lean into that thought. Lean into, a thought of possibility versus the prison of victimhood and the prison of, it is what it is. It sucks. It's this, it's that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be things that's going to pull you there's always going to be things that's going to be, trying to show you the negative in a situation. But Einstein said the most important decision a man will ever make is whether he live in a friendly or hostile universe, right? And he called that a decision because we get to choose.
Yeah.
Right? So as you're in the cloud, as you're in the frustration, as you're in, all the situation that comes with a pandemic and how this world seems so challenging and so bad, lean into that possibility. Choose to see that possibility. What you focus on, you get. We've had that experience in one way, shape, or form. Like for me, I remember when I was buying my car, I now detect every Mazda 3 on the road. I now see it all. It's like, ooh, that's one. I'm looking to get that one, right? It's because I shifted my focus to the possibility of buying a car, right? So understand that you have a choice to choose, to see the possibilities, to choose to see something different from where you are. Entertain that thought, be with it, like try something different, because you've done what you've done. I've done what I've done, and it led me to my rock bottom. But up until I started looking at a different possibility that's a bit higher than where I am, a bit scarier too, but I held space for that possibility. And the universe, God, whoever it is that's most potent for you, works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, we get to write the script, right? Every day we get to choose which way we want it to go. And like you said, we can focus on hear where we want to go, or we focus on avoiding this other side.
Yes.
Whatever we focus on, whether it's the avoidance of what we don't want or that which we do, it's going to take us there.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
just one thing quickly. It's
Yes.
like, you know, ask yourself this question: what do I want? If you find yourself answering the question with the things that you don't want, well, I don't want to be in this situation because that's not comfortable. I don't want this. That's like, you know, avoiding. Your energy is still on that negative. Your energy is still on something that you don't want. Where you put your focus is where you put your energy.
Yeah.
Leave room for that possibility.
All things possible, my friend. You are shining.
Indeed.
Preach. I love it. Thank you for coming on here, Coffee Talk, and sharing your wisdom and your life experience and your knowledge and your heart and soul. Amazing, man. Transformational coach, Corrie Campbell, fellow Canadian. I can't wait. I'm going to meet you someday in person when I get back to Ontario. And
Shall be done.
Not sure when that's going to be, but
or maybe I'll meet you in Austria.
But all things possible. I believe all things possible. Or yes, you come over here.
Yes, that's an option too. But absolute pleasure being here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you to everyone in the audience for being here and engaging with this content. I think these are the type of things that move the world forward, because we all are put here to do something that's beyond ourselves. So I appreciate you and everyone here.
Can never have enough of these conversations. Even if we repeat the same thing every time or a little tweak, it's can never have enough. So my heart goes out to you and everybody out there. Have a rockin' Tuesday. Until next time, Coffee Talk. Thanks, Corrie.
Blessings upon blessings.
Blessings, everybody. Peace out. Bye-bye.